Ian looked mighty comfortable up there. And how'd you like the wine cellar, your own wine, sitting there with your feet up on the balcony? John, it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
It's a fantastic property.
Now, John, we've got to get through a couple of live and interactive questions here. The first one is, what is considered inner, middle and outer suburban areas in Adelaide? And Peter from Hazelwood Park obviously wants us to give him what that means. It's a big question.
Yes. It's tricky in Adelaide because it's quite spread out, but I mean, if you're saying inner, you'd probably say within 5 kilometres of the CBD, which is within about a 10-minute drive.
So what suburbs would they be?
There'd be your suburbs like Medindi, College Park, St Peters, all the way around to Rose Park, coming around to obviously your Malverns, your Millswoods and Unley Parks.
So that's inner?
Yes.
Middle? Middle
would be obviously 5 to 10 k's out. And then obviously your outer would be 10k plus. Your outers would be obviously your Elizabeths, your Salisburys. Even in the hills, you consider Stirling, Crayford as an outer suburb. All the way around to south, out to Christie's Beach.
So is there any other criteria than distance though? Because I would have thought it revolves a little bit around facilities. So Stirling, I'd almost wonder whether that's really, it's hills, isn't it?
It is hills, and it's really its own little location out there, its own little community. So I mean, but from a distance point of view, you'd have to consider it was an outer suburb. It's still a fair drive up the freeway.
Peter, that was a really fantastic question, and we actually had to really think about it, and you may or may not have got the exact answer you want, but that gives you a really good feel for it. It's pretty much distance and then facilities. Now, while we're on that, John, there's also some questions that I've actually want to ask you. High end.
Yes.
What would you consider, given that you operate in the high end?
Yep.
What does that mean?
Well, high end property, you'd probably classify it in 3 different ways. I mean, obviously the first way would be price. It's the most obvious. So we would say a property over $1 million would be you'd easily classify that as a high end property in Adelaide. So price is the first thing. Second would be obviously the location, and the suburb would determine whether a property was high end or not. So again, a lot of those inner location or inner suburbs would pretty much fall into that high end area. And then also what the property has to offer would also determine whether it was a high end property and obviously what sort of price it would command in the market. And that could be a property, for example, like one we had recently at Waterfall Gully, where the architecture was a little bit dated, but what the property offered in regard to tennis courts, swimming pool, 6-car garage, horse paddocks, stabling, and all that sort of thing makes it high end.
That's fantastic. Thanks very much, John.
That's all right. Thanks for answering.
Yeah, now let's go and look at some newly listed and new release properties.